Good evening, everybody. It's halftime. 20-17 Wake Forest. Welcome in to a halftime Cavalier connection. You just got me tonight. Wake is up 20-17. This game looked like it could be much worse than it actually is right now. Got off to a rough start. But the offense has come around. We have bonehead penalty there towards the end of the half on Malachi, unfortunately. Probably cost us from being tied or potentially ahead here at the half. But 20-17, Wake Forest. Some of the highlights for this game so far, got off to a tough start, ended up with a 3 and out. As expected, I kind of expected him to give that ball to Tyree early in a run, try to get him involved in the game. Tyree had a nice run on first down, and then, a false start penalty backs us up 5. And, we end up having to punt the football. Wake comes down and scores. And then we come down and unfortunately, Terrell Harris, you couldn't ask for a better pass by Calandria. He dropped that one in there, and Terrell dropped that one. Terrell for the half, I think he had, we're going to check and see what he ended up with. He has 4 catches for 44 yards, but he's made some good plays since then. That big 4th down catch, that's not an easy catch, and that's a long throw for Calandria to make, so that was pretty big. Malachi Fields already matched last game's catch total with 98 yards in the first half, so big performance for him. One of the big highlights for us is our guy, we call him family, friend of the program, Tyler Neville, with 2 touchdowns. I think he's got 42 yards receiving in the first half. Keep feeding that man the ball. And he would have had more if it weren't for that penalty there towards the end of the half as far as yardage. So great to see that. Jay and I were texting earlier, and you just feel like the Hoos are going to score every time they get the ball. The offense is really cooking now, passing the ball. Now, running the football, we're having problems. Kobe Pace, not a whole lot of carries. He's got 3 carries for 2 yards. I know he wanted the ball. Probably a lot of you out there were thinking on that 4th and 1 at the goal line, we should have went for it. I'm one of those. I don't know. You ran the ball 2 times with Calandria, and then, Kobe was upset. He wanted the football, so they gave it to him, and he couldn't get the touchdown either. So we ended up kicking the field goal. I feel like probably need to go for that there. But we didn't. And so we ended up getting the 3 points. But, Calandria's thrown for 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then, a fluke pick. So we gave up 20. And it was a good play by their defensive lineman, getting the hands up, as you always preach as a defensive lineman. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. And he batted the ball up, and, there's another lineman there to get it. And I tip my cap to Calandria for going and making that tackle. That's a big boy he had to bring down. But that led to a Wake Forest touchdown, which is one of their scores. But if you take that pick away, and we may be ahead right now. Rushing, though, we have not been able to get a running game going at all. Calandria's got 18 yards on 6 carries. Xavier Brown, 5 carries for 20 yards. He's shown the most success. It just seems like we're just continuing to try to run the ball outside. Pace doesn't seem to be fast enough for their linebackers. I'm thinking maybe let's line Tyree up back there, or go maybe split backs, put Tyree and Pace, or Tyree and Brown, and get Tyree. Tyree's fast enough to get around that outside if you feel like we can't run it north and south. But who knows? I'm not the coach. I'm not the X's and O's guy. Just a fan watching the game. Another couple highlights. 4 sacks today. 4 sacks. Now, that's pretty dang good. The defense has definitely struggled. We've been gashed a few times, but 4 sacks. Everybody talked about last week only 1 sack versus Richmond. I know Ball Hawks said we were running vanilla defense, and so we really didn't show anything to Wake. Well, we've brought the heat, and that sack by Sanker, boy, that was something special. When he came in and had that spin move to get to the quarterback, that was a pretty pretty dang good play. Um, just see what else I wanted to discuss. So, Calandra, he's out there. He's full of confidence. That's one thing he does not lack is confidence. Um, anyway, halftime score 20-17, Wake Forest. Other Jaden Gibson has a catch for 26 yards. If you look at the team stats, let's take a look and see what we got here. Third downs have not been kind to Virginia. We're 1 for 8. Wake's 1 for 6. 1 for 1 on fourth down. 279 total yards for Virginia. 275 for Wake Forest. 27 passes by Calandra. That's a lot of throwing of the football. And you feel like guys are just open all over the field. Hopefully we can continue with that passing game, but get a little running game going in that second half. That last touchdown drive, I feel like we got a little bit of running going with Brown, and that led to that play action, a little bit of play action, and then Neville with a nice move and a pretty pass by Calandra for that touchdown. And Calandra, unfortunately, he's got 239 yards passing. He should have almost 300 right now in the first half if Trell brings that one in. I stood up, touchdown, and then I look and the ball sitting on the ground. So, unfortunately, it happens to them all. Trell, he's a monster. Kempton told us that Trell is a monster. He's the guy to look out for, and he really has been. Him and Malachi Fields, this receiving core is something special. That was our first turnover of the year, that interception. Like I said, a little fluky. I will say Calandra, good move. One of those on a 3rd and long, and he rolled out, and instead of trying to force something or taking a crazy sack, he threw one away. So that's a positive there. Wake Forest has run the ball for 81 yards. Virginia only 40, and that's pretty much it. You look at time of possessions, about even. Virginia's had a little bit longer, a few more first downs. But as a whole, we got a whole second half. Wake Forest is going to be receiving the ball to start the half. Need to get out, make a play. Let's try to get a 3 and out, maybe create a turnover, and let's go from there. So, today has been quite the day in the college football world. Notre Dame getting upset by Northern Illinois. Unbelievable stuff. And then the ACC's Cal. Yeah, I said the ACC's Cal. Winning that game against Auburn today, 21-14. North Carolina beating Charlotte 38-20. Virginia Tech, they struggled. 31-14 win. That was a 0-0 game in middle of the second quarter, and they get a punt return for 6 to get them going. But that game was pretty close for about 3 quarters. So Miami's handling business. They got 53 points. Stanford's beating Cal Poly. NC State's a 7-point game in the second quarter with Tennessee. Clemson says, hey, we're going to have a little offense against Appalachian State. 35 in the first quarter, 35-0 after one. Louisville with a win. Syracuse beat Georgia Tech. So I have to say this. I definitely had laid money down. I bet Syracuse money line, and they handled business today, but they gave me a scare. It was 31-14 with about 5 minutes to go, and Georgia Tech scores a touchdown, makes it 31-21. And then, just like they did against Virginia and Charlottesville several years ago, they recover the onside kick. They go score again. Now we're in a 3-point game. So a scary moment there for me with my big $5 on the line. And real quick, no money coming to me this week. No final score predictions correct. I had 27-17 Virginia. So that's out of the window. Jay's still alive. He had 31-20. So 2 touchdowns from the Hoos in the second half. He'll win that 20 back, but I'm hoping for at least 32-20, if not 35, 34, 42, 49. I'm hoping for a big second half. I really believe, Wake's going to have a hard time stopping our offense. Pitt beating Cincinnati right there in the end. Boston College with a big 56-0 win. I already mentioned North Carolina 38-20, and then Virginia Tech. Kyron Drones, he struggled a bit today as well. So ACC dip has done pretty well today. But Anyway, thank you for tuning in to this halftime um, thoughts by me. And second half's coming up here just in a bit. And hopefully, we're going to give you guys a little post game thoughts, and hopefully, you're celebrating a win. Jay may be with me for the post game. Uh, but enjoy the second half, and we'll see you guys in a bit.